Welcome back. Part 5 live from Castle Combe Circuit for the 2025 Media Day. I've managed to drag in some familiar faces because we've got some hot topic that we want to cover and we bring it round. So we've got us all featured in. First, I'm going to do it ladies first, Ken. I hope you don't mind. Kat Delocco.
Hello, everybody.
I always
Hello,
got to remember
Chris.
your title.
Member of the racing club.
You just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair
yeah.
enough. You've got rid of some of those responsibilities, have you?
No, sadly. I kind of ended up with racing club manager by default. So I kind of manage myself.
Yeah.
But I'm cool with that.
Kim wouldn't agree with that, but let's let that go. And of course, the chairman, Ken Davis. Hello, Ken.
Good afternoon.
You all right?
Fine.
How did you? You're never a man of few words. Don't pull that one. First things first, Ken. You kicked off today with the briefing upstairs in the Strawford Centre to the media.
Yeah, we gave them just an outline of the day and what we've got in store for 2025, which is, we went through our race days. We went through the content of the race days. We spoke of sponsors, and then we talked a little bit about Castle Combe Racing Trust. Just said a few words about that to the journalists, and what we really got in store this year.
And how are you feeling about this year? We've got a few less race days for us, but still exciting stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, the quantity is perhaps not there, but quality certainly is. Our 4 championships this year all look as strong as ever. Plus, we've got some great visiting series coming to us. And
I'd imagine you had to take the mantle for this as well, is that the circuit have been doing a lot of work, especially up at Quarry Corner over the winter months.
Yeah, some great improvements with regards to the Armco barriers. They've put a lot of new uprights in, and they've redressed the tyres, the rector cells, those new. I say new, 5 or 6 years we've been using them to good effect. High energy, high density barriers that make driving away from an accident very, very possible now. And previously, the car might have lost a wheel or 2 wheels even.
Yeah, I mean, it is a miracle. I always say in the commentary, we're not allowed to talk about what's within them, but it involves lint from a mouse's handkerchief, the cream from a bourbon biscuit, and strands from a unicorn's horn. That's what rumour has it.
Secret formula.
Yeah, but we're not allowed to talk about it, all right? But it is amazing to watch how you can hit those. It's brilliant. The other one I noticed as well, that it's not just circuit that they've done up there, is that it's very much marshal-minded in the fact that behind the high catch fencing, they've now got sort of fencing with gates for them to be able to get through.
They have, and also a really nice deep layer of hardcore,
Yes.
which they can add, so drainage will be better. They can get a little bit of extra height climbing over and climbing back. So no, they've done a really good job for both sides of the fence, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we had a big thing where a lot of trees had to be felled with, was it ash dieback,
Yes,
isn't it?
correct.
But there's been a big tree planting program now as well.
Yes, huge. And as you come in through the main gate, you can see all of the effort that's gone into put some new trees, both in by the security gate and then over in paddock 2 as well. So they will take a little bit of time, but it's really nice to see that's gone back. So we kind of lost some, but we've hopefully gained more, which is good.
Absolutely. And that's a national thing. I know Brands Hatch have just recently had to be getting, or spending this year getting rid of a lot with this disease. So totally understandable. From your role that you denied you had within the racing club, how good does it feel to be back here and see a number of, not all come to this sort of media day, pre-season test day, but to see him back?
I think for me that the penny dropped yesterday because the winter has felt so long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably since joining, this is the start of my 4th season with the club, and it has felt like the longest winter. So basically we were kind of, you could see other circuits were starting to get busier and busier, but yesterday when I got to about 7 in the evening, had finished setting up, sun was setting, a couple of drivers in the paddock having a small beer, and I sat with them and I just thought, yes, we're back, because actually without that kind of customer interaction or driver interaction, it kind of feels like you're not really, it's a really strange thing to explain. So feels brilliant. Yeah, I feel
does.
really like we're back, which is good because it has been, challenging over the winter.
How long have you been with us now?
This is the start of the 4th season.
Wow, that doesn't seem
I've
possible.
flown.
I
We're
know
having fun.
that is
I know.
incredible. But it was really that sort of like you're starting to now venture out of that newbie thing. I think now you're not classed, but when you're sat next to this man, you are. I mean, Ken, how long have you been involved now? I've lost track of the time.
Well, I've been involved with the racing club ever since it was formed in 2006. And before that, it was BRSCC Southwestern. So, I mean, I guess since Howard persuaded me to come across, I met Howard when I was a schoolboy, and he was the chairman of Swansea Motor Club. We sort of hit it off straight away. And yeah, I've been I was a bag carrier of his and a straw bale mover of his, and he was very much my mentor. So he was a great guy to work for. I learned a lot from him, and yeah, so a few years, and I've seen a lot of changes at the circuit. If I was driving past, I usually call in and see him back years ago, and he'd always take me out and show me the latest bit of tarmac he'd laid, or the latest bit of grass he'd sowed. And he was all, he took it so personally, and he had such a keen sort of interest in everything that happened here, and it was just infectious, and it just wore off at me.
I can get that. I'm still to this day humbled and proud that I was taken on with the commentary team by Howard and Rodney Gooch, of course, too, that are no longer with us, but were absolute stalwarts of this circuit. And it's just such an honour that such integral people for this circuit, that was something that I just about managed to be within that realm, because they were cut them in half and they'd bleed Castle Combe.
You cut them in half and they bled Castle Combe, but they also bled motor racing.
True. Fair comment.
Rodney Gooch's background was that he worked for John Webb at Motor Circuit Developments
That used to
at
run
Brands Hatch.
Brands Hatch, yeah.
Yeah. So Rodney was part of the Aerosigns side of the business, which was trackside advertising. And it's just, if you've got a moment, I'll tell you the story.
Please do.
Rodney was a keen amateur motorcycle racer. And I think his enthusiasm was far greater than his actually track skills. And one particular meeting, he was racing at Castle Combe, and he fell off. And I think it was something like Bottom Bend, which is now called Graham Hill. But as he lay there on the grass, he looked across at the hoarding, and he could see in small letters at the bottom, Aerosigns. And he must have, he wasn't very badly hurt, and he must have been looking for a job at the time, because he thought, Aerosigns, I must ring them when I get back home.
As you do.
As you do. So he actually collected all his damaged bike together and went home and rang Aerosigns, and it was John Webb's company, and they took him on. And he was absolutely, he learnt the business with John Webb, and then through Howard was very friendly with John Webb as well. And I think it was a sort of a very a cordial sort of exchange of employees. But Rodney wanted to come out and live more in the west of the country, rather than be based at Brands Hatch. So he joined Castle Combe Circuit, and he and Howard worked together like a really good team for years and years. And a lot of the innovations and the things that happened in the 70s and 80s and 90s was a result of Rodney's fertile imagination and creativity.
Oh, and hard work.
And Howard's great vision.
Yeah, I mean, their work ethics were like off the scale, frankly, weren't they? I think Rodney's unhealthily off the scale, to be honest. Yeah. How long have you been chairman of the racing club?
I think this is my 12th year.
Wow. Okay. And now I'll get to the original point I was going with this, is that we know when someone's new, their passion is clearly there, but frankly, it doesn't go away, as you are testament to.
No, it doesn't. It's like a sort of, it's in the blood. And motor racing is a very difficult thing to shake off. So yeah, I mean, Kat joined us in the beginning of I think 2022, and immediately took to the job like a duck to water. Obviously, Kat had an automotive background anyway.
Yeah.
And she's been taken to the hearts of all our members and competitors. She's extremely popular with our visiting series as well. So she's made a great success of the job, better than we could have ever imagined when we employed her. And it's just a huge success story. And now she's part of the Castle Combe scene.
Yeah, I'd agree. And Kat, I mean, it's not always easy by any stretch of the imagination, but the good seems to sort of paint out the challenges.
It does, and I think I'm sorry, I'm a bit distracted, everyone, because there's stuff going on in the circuit, and I never get close to the race cars. So this is very exciting for me. It's interesting because you're dealing with multiple personalities. The nice thing about Castle Combe is we're a very inclusive club. So I do try and make sure that at least one of us, whether it's Ken, Richard, Cheryl, or myself, get to actually speak with all the drivers. Some drivers don't want interaction. Some want more than others. But I think it's just a weird one. You sort of get into the season. It's like condensing a whole annual role into a short space of time. So it's quite intense.
Yes.
And this morning, if nothing else, I think Cheryl and I realised that we have some work to get ready for the first race meeting of the season.
Yeah.
Because you kind of stroll in and say, sign a piece of paper and have a little chit chat, and then you realise there's a time frame. So you've got to kind of keep things moving.
Yeah.
But it's been great to see everybody today. Really good. And the weather's been amazing. We've done some nice championship shots on the grid. Trade stands have been great. We've met new sponsors.
Yeah.
Us as a team, we've had a chance to kind of see each other, which doesn't happen that often.
2 parts ago, I think it was, we caught up with the coordinators, of which
good.
there was
Yes.
3 new faces.
Yes.
Not new faces, but new faces to the role.
New to the role.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which again is that they're an input. You say about us being inclusive is that we were discussing how vital those coordinators are, because they're the conduit sometimes between the drivers, not just you, but even potentially even higher than that, is that they need that person that they can just go to, whether it's
it's like a middle management role.
Absolutely.
Where there's somebody that can actually just be a sort of a holding point. Because for me, I switch into secretary of the meeting on race day, so I'm not able to be Kat from the racing club in the same degree.
Yep.
So to have that level of support, and it's really exciting having a team on board that every single one of them has a completely unique skill that they can bring to the team.
And unique reasons for taking on the role.
Yes.
I found earlier as well.
Strength in numbers. Everyone's motivated by something different. It's good to have people that know lots of people and some that don't know any, some that are good at love the point systems, some that like the technical stuff. I'm really hoping that what that will do is allow us the chance to have relationships nurtured by the coordinators, because that's a 2-way thing. But also that will allow Cheryl and I to just make sure that we're maximising every opportunity to get people to come and race with Castle Combe Racing Club. 01249 784 160 is the phone number if you want to call.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, they can drop you an email.
Or drop us an email.
And I know that you've been getting drivers registering and what have you. Are the entries open for Easter Monday, Howard's Day?
Yep, they were open. I think it was the 5th of January that we opened them. So you have to wait until your championship permit is ready before you can take entries. So looking good. I'm hoping that there'll be a few more that will drop into our inbox over the next
No, they're
week or
always
so.
well organised.
I think it's bad for my health the fact that people leave it so late. But it's exciting. I think we've got a decent number of people coming to race. I'd be very confident to say that all the grids will not be sub 20 for the first race meeting. Hot hatches mid 25, late 20s. So I think any more Formula 4 drivers out there undecided, come along. And I think we always give them a nice warm welcome.
Exactly.
Help them with the admin. If it's it's all that stuff that makes it tricky, that's what we're here for.
And we were chatting to Louis earlier about the GTs and making sure people realise that people might not understand that their car is eligible for the
Totally.
championship. And it's like, it is.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. I mean, we're talking about the four-seater. The what's it? The four-door
The
class.
4-seat class.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4-seaters. Yeah.
So, you know, it's like actually not just BMWs, but other things as well. And it's like, come along, there's an awful lot more. And we'd love to see this eclectic mix grow, because we do love that
Yes.
one. And there's someone, Ken, 17 years, he said he's been a coordinator.
Oh, Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't that incredible?
Well, and he was a great champion as well. because,
Absolutely.
When the championship was slightly different, there were sports races in it as well. Louis won it twice in a radical. So he was an extremely good driver, as well as being a very good coordinator. So, you know, Louis is good. Again, you cut him in half and he leads
100%.
motor racing and GTs particularly.
Yeah.
And so passionate as well, isn't he?
Yes.
You can
Yes.
see it in every
Yeah.
part of his being. How he
so knowledgeable
feels.
about the technical
Yeah,
side and
yeah,
what the
yeah.
drivers are thinking and feeling with
Yes.
it and all of that. So really helpful to be that voice for the drivers as well as being
Yeah.
a voice for the championship.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, essential. Hopefully we'll have a Formula Ford coordinator come on board in the not too distant future. So I think as a team we will manage, because the idea is that we can all support each other in different roles if someone's not available.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to it.
Big topic of conversation for this one, of course, though, is one of the races on Easter Monday is an annual event that we do to remember a very special man.
Yes. So on Easter Monday, we have the Dave Allen Trophy. It's the 12th time that the race has been run. Yeah, here at the circuit. So it's a 20-minute qualifying, 40-minute race. It's open to, this is quite an essential piece of information, 1 driver, 1 car, 2 drivers, 1 car, or 2 cars, 2 drivers. So if you look at the entry fee, you can split that between 2. So for what is 60 minutes of time on the track, it's actually really great value for money. So that can be done as a registration online. Pick up the phone, drop us an email, whatever really is going to be, you know, helpful to get people to come and join. It's done by timing, so you don't enter a class until
After qualifying.
So that's when it will be determined which particular class you will fit into.
And
but it's a huge trophy you can win.
Absolutely. And it's saloons and GTs and whatever.
Yeah, it's quite an open format. No open wheel. That'd be fair. Is that the right
All
way?
closed wheel.
All closed wheel, which is pretty much anybody that wants to come and race. And it's a Monday. So I think a lot of people often think that when they see a race that's on, the assumption is it's on a weekend, and if there's something already planned for the weekend. But the lucky thing for us is that a lot of our races are on a Monday.
Yes.
So, you know, if you are racing somewhere else for that weekend, there is no excuse not to just carry on driving and come to Combe.
And what a great way to burn off the Easter chocolate.
Oh my God. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there will probably be a chocolate here waiting for you after the race.
So they can put it back on. You got it. Yeah.
So
makes
we
sense.
would like to, I don't know whether you can see this.
I
Can you
will.
actually see this? Can you share this?
I'm just trying to think. I tried to bring something up, but I probably should have had that. That go with.
Don't worry.
yours. It
So it's
doesn't matter.
online. It's the poster that we've got. It's online. It's look, Chris has got it there. There we go. Yes, so you should be able to find the information anywhere that you search on our social platforms, which Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. But drop us a line or ring the mobile. If you need any information, just again, drop us a message or message Chris and we can reach back out to you.
Yeah, and do it. I mean, 21st of April, Easter Monday. Entry fee £365, second driver £35.
Yeah.
In memory of Dave Allen, a former Honda test and race driver. Unfortunately, I missed him. Our paths didn't cross. I missed out on that. But everybody I speak to about him, I've never heard even a mediocre word said about him. He was just an incredible guy, which is, you know, lovely that we have this.
Yeah, he was. He was a great personality and an extremely likable person. And sadly, he was killed in a testing accident, tragically killed. So yeah, the race is in his memory. And I mean, when Honda were in Swindon, we used to get a lot of support from Honda at the circuit. You know, we still enjoy their course vehicles, their course cars, their med cars, and so on. So yeah, we've always had a very close association with Honda, and Dave was very, very much part of that organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So get yourself entered. You know, come along. If there's more than one of you, you don't have to share a car necessarily. As you said, you've got the relay possibility with, you know, with the 2 cars, first, second, and third trophies for each individual class, as well as the Dave Allen trophy itself.
Yep, and there is a 1-minute pit stop. So, you know, if you're thinking, oh, I don't know if my tank's gonna make it, and you split it with another car, then you can share it with, you know, another car to sort of, there's no excuse not to be able to come and enjoy it.
So jump on ccracingclub.co.uk and get yourself entered for that Dave Allen. And frankly, that I always find that Easter Monday meeting is one of the biggest here, because it's the starter pistol for the year and quite a festive weekend.
Yeah, I think it's because everybody's just so bursting with excitement to get back out on track, to get back out to Marshall, to spectate. You know, I mean, if we can be blessed with some nice weather as well, that would be amazing. But yeah, I think there's going to be a really busy day and some great racing.
100%. So there you go. That's the Dave Allen Trophy. I think that's a nice sort of intro to the 2025 season and Castle Combe Racing Club. Anything that I haven't said that needs to be promoted?
Well, I think, you know, you said Easter Monday. Yeah, Easter Monday traditionally is very much a motor racing day throughout the UK. You know, it's always been too cold for the beach, and as long as the sun shines, then it's great motor racing weather. So traditionally, Easter Monday is motor racing day. So yeah, we look forward to seeing competitors. The nice thing about the Dave Allen race is that we've got our own 4 championships. And 3 of those championships, the cars in those championships are eligible for the Dave Allen as well. So we try to be sympathetic in the way that we work out the timetable, so that we give people the opportunity to do their races first in their championships, and then possibly put the Dave Allen on later on, so that yeah, we're sympathetic that their main priority is their championships. So again, we'd look at the timetable in that respect.
And of course, we did already mention the late, great Howard Strawford. It is Howard's Day as well. It's the annual Howard's Day, always the first race meet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And always on Easter Monday, which is why we don't race until we get to Easter Monday, do we?
Yeah, and you know, the close association we've had with Honda was always developed and fostered by Howard and Rodney Gooch. You know, they were the people who actually sort of started that close, harmonious relationship we've had.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for giving that information. Jump on to ccracingclub.co.uk, get yourself entered, get yourself ready for, if you're spectating, if you're one of the Mighty Orange Army, whichever it happens to be, but get yourself down here. Be lovely to really start with a big crowd. Thank you for the care emoji, Ryan Forward. Lovely to see that from you. I'll be back a little bit later for part 6. I'm not sure who it's going to be yet. I've got about 3 or 4 other people that want to jump on. So just keep yourself peeled for what we're going to come up with next, or set the alerts on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you very shortly. Cheers.
Bye.